You already know that I do my budget in order of priority. I'm starting with the things that are most important to me, all the way down to the extra non-necessities. Hi everybody, thanks for clicking on this video and welcome to my savings, budgeting, and YouTube journey. On this channel, I experiment with different budgeting styles, savings goals, and I share the strategies I learn as I go. So if that sounds interesting at all to you, please go ahead and click the like button and subscribe to follow my journey. Okay, so today it is time for me to do my pre-payday prep. What that means is I go into my employer's website and I'm able to see ahead of time how much my upcoming paycheck will be. So today it's the weekend and I will get paid on this upcoming Wednesday. So when I go in, I find out how much I am going to be making or how much exactly that paycheck will be, and then I can budget for whatever I have planned coming up. The night before payday, I go in again to see if there's any money already in the bank account before I get paid, anything left over from the previous paycheck. That way I can factor that into the budget, whether I need to spend that money or I can have some of that money go into my savings categories here or in a savings account. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We've already done, this will be the first paycheck for May. We've already done our May monthly projection. So if you haven't seen that video, make sure you check that out. Let me show you where that is. So the first thing we did was we mapped out the month to see when all the bills are and how much they will be. So we've done that, and we've also already planned out the monthly budget. So this is only a projection. I call it a projection because we don't know how much each paycheck will be for sure. So it's kind of just an estimate. So I estimated that my first paycheck will be $1,450 and that the next one will be $1,500. So that's a hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully that it works out with my estimates. I kind of try to estimate how much it will be based on any overtime that I have done or the lack thereof. And then I was able to also figure out how much I have to pay for Discover. So that is a new balance. That is the highest balance I have had on a credit card in probably like a decade, a long time. I tend not to use credit cards because, yeah, they can get you in trouble once you get started with it. I'm sure you guys know it's easy to fall into the trap of constantly using it. I don't even know honestly how that balance got up there, but it is at $569.53. We are going to chip away at that as much as possible whenever we can. So let's go ahead and take a look at or get prepared to do our paycheck A budget. So this for paycheck A, let's see. This is for May, and this paycheck is going to get paid on the 8th, and it's going to take me all the way to, it's going to take me all the way in, oh no, it's only going to take me to the 21st. Okay, so that's the paycheck A, the 8th through the 21st. Like I said, this is the budget only for the paycheck, so we're going to budget for what exactly the paycheck will be. Anything extra we will budget for the night before payday. I don't budget for anything that could be rollover because I don't know if I'm going to need to spend anything between now and payday. So I leave that for the night before. All right, so I was able, like I said, to go into my employer's website and I found out that my paycheck will be $1,460. So
hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around. With your broke ass.
So we were almost right on the money. I'm getting better at that. I have been pretty good at guessing how much, I'm going to start lower, how much the paychecks will be. So let's start about here. All right, so it'll be $1,460. So we're going to budget with that. We already know that I do my budget in order of priority. I'm starting with the things that are most important to me, all the way down to the extra non-necessities. So the first thing for me is always, anytime you see me do a budget, will be my automatic savings. So we automatically save $150 every pay period. That goes into 3 different savings accounts, and I will give you guys the breakdown of that as well. So for the auto savings, and like I said, this goes into 3 different bank accounts automatically. It's just the first thing that comes out automatically. Let's start there. All right, so the first thing that comes out is $75 for my emergency fund. $50 goes into my daughter's savings, and $25 goes into my car note fund. If you have not seen that video, make sure you watch the breakdown of how I am able to just put $25 per pay period towards my car note, and the rest is already taken care of. 1310. All right, we're left with 1310. The next thing that comes out for me, I will show you my budget cheat sheet so you know where I'm getting this from. I have done it so many times now that I'm just so used to the order of where everything comes out. But if you are new to budgeting, I highly suggest you doing a cheat sheet, sitting down, finding out when all your bills are due and how much they are. That's probably the most important part of the budget, of course. So 1310, we have we've already pulled this out to do our monthly budget, so it's easy for me to go back to our monthly budget and see. There's a cheat sheet video, shows you how to make one of those. So we already know we've calculated for the month of May. Paycheck A's estimate for fixed expenses is $730, and I got that by adding up all the bills that are due within this time period of the pay period. So this is why I budget based on the pay period, because I want to make sure I have enough to pay the bills that are due within this time frame. So we're going to add that up just so I can show you. So $445 for half the mortgage, $20 for her allowance, my daughter, $8 for Amazon streaming. We're not going to purchase any streaming right now. If we do anything, it'll be a temporary trial. Right now we have Hulu as a temporary trial, but I'm probably going to keep it. Utilities, we're going to put $122 towards that. $60 goes to my phone bill or our phone bills, $32 for the student loans, and $43 we're going to pay for Discover. So that brings us to $730. So that's perfect because that goes right into a bill account. So I won't have to move anything this time, which is great. All right, that's going to leave us with $580. And my bank accounts right now are all over the place. So I'm not even going to explain to you right now where they are. I am transitioning into a high yield savings account, which I'm very happy about because I've already gained some interest and gotten a welcome bonus. So if you guys are interested in opening a high yield savings account, it works exactly the same as your regular checking and savings accounts. The only thing is that the higher yield ones are only like internet based. So there's no brick and mortar that you could go to and take money out. Sofi does have the option to use ATMs, so that's awesome. But I always suggest keeping at least one brick and mortar just in case for emergencies, if you need money right then and there, or if you need a larger sum than what you can take out in cash at the ATM. Just my suggestion or preference, at least. All right, so $730 for the fixed expenses. So I'm going to map this out and give you guys a breakdown of what is included in that. Really, it's just these bills that we've already mapped out. So it's the half the mortgage. I hate when I do these backwards. $445, allowance is $20. I would really have liked to give her more allowances pay period. She's done really good with her chores, but it's not looking like we're going to be able to do that. We might with rollover. Amazon is $8. Phone is $60. Student loan is actually $32. And Discover, that's debt. So actually, I did that wrong again. I always do that. I like to do debt separately. So this is $687. And that's just so at the end of the month, I can break that up and see how much I'm spending on bills, how much I'm spending on debt, etc. So let's recalculate that. It'll come down to the same amount at the end, but that's just how I like to break it up. Okay. Yeah, so we're doing Discover. We're only putting $43 into the Discover right now. And if you want to take a look at the May budget, it'll help you explain how I got to that strange amount. Right, that brings us down to $580. Okay, the next thing that comes out according to our budget cheat sheet is any semi or annual bills. And we do in June, we're going to have the $60 come out for the water bill. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and pay that ahead of time within this pay period, because I already have the $60 sitting here in my categories. So I'm just going to take that back to the bank. Probably going to be going to the bank tomorrow. I never ended up doing it earlier this week. So I'm going to go back to the bank and put that $60 in there so that we can just pay that right out. So let's put 60 for sinking fund for water. All right, because I already saved enough for the water bill for the entire year. So we're going to take $60 out of that little envelope and take that back to the bank so that we can just pay the water bill and get it out the way. I hate to forget things, so I pretty much try to just do things in advance when it's on my mind. So that'll go back to the bank, and we'll include that when we do our night before closeouts. The night before payday, we'll close out the budget. Again, like I said, find out how much is in the bank and then divvy it up based on that, those exact amounts. Okay, the next thing, like I said, comes out, it would be that, but we're already taking that out, so we don't need to put it in this budget because that's already taken care of. Variables is going to come out. I'll give you the breakdown of those. $295 comes out per pay period for our variable funds. Why did I just erase that again? $285. All right. Okay, so variable expenses include $200 for groceries, $50 for gas, and $40 for home. I call it the home envelope, but it's mostly just for toiletries or stuff we need around the house. That's taken care of. Zero these out. Next thing that comes out is going to be our cash envelopes. For the cash envelopes, every pay period, we are taking out $200. So that's what I get from the bank in cash. Everything else pretty much stays in the bank. So let's do the breakdown of those. So I guess I'll decide more when I do my cash stuffing. I think I'm going to keep rolling over the cash that I have. I don't know. If I have cash left before we get paid again, so Tuesday night, since we get paid on Wednesday, if I have cash left in my cash wallet, I might roll that over again, meaning that I will just keep it in my wallet and add to it. Or I can decide to, take some out and put it into these savings binders that I have. So that has been the way that I have been able to save so much this past year, is to use that leftover money and put it right back into savings. So maybe I'll do half. I don't know. We'll see. I guess I'll decide that when I have the money in my hands. All right, so $200, and I just realized that's wrong. It's $85 left. Okay, so $200, that goes to $55 goes to personal. And that's just for anything that I need for myself or my daughter needs throughout the week, or anything that we want. That one's not necessarily a need envelope. We have $40 for entertainment, $60 for dining out. So any fast food, we usually don't do restaurants as often, but we've been eating out more than we should. But I have still been staying within budget, so that's good. Rolling over the money helps. $10 goes into our health envelope, $15 goes to our pet envelope, and $20 goes to our miscellaneous envelope. So that altogether is $200. So that's pretty steady. Everything about my budget is pretty steady except for the debt and the fixed expenses. Those can change, based on the pay period or the month for all of us. Okay, and then we have $85. So with that $85, we have our priority sinking funds. So those are priority savings that I'm saving for. So we have 4 categories in savings challenges, and then we have 1 sinking fund that I contribute to every pay period. So total $75. And I'll give you the breakdown of what that includes as well. So let's do $75. This is like an always fund. It used to be called my always fund. It's priority sinking funds and savings challenges. Basically, they're just important items that I'm saving for every pay period. Okay, so this goes to priority. I'm just gonna call it priority. So that's $75. 25 goes to Child's Beauty, so that's my daughter's envelope. Then I have home maintenance gets $10. Her clothing envelope gets $15 every pay period. And that's mostly for school clothes for next year or any summer clothes she might need in between time. Then we have home goals gets $15. And Christmas gets $10. So I always explain a bit more when I do the actual cash stuffing. So on payday, I go to the bank, I take the cash out. So I'll be taking out approximately $285. And I will put those into my different categories that I'm saving for. So you'll see how much I have up until now, and you'll see me add to it every pay period. Then I'll give you a breakdown sometimes too of exactly what each thing is for. Some are self-explanatory, some are not. Like home goals is for a new lawnmower. I was saying last pay period that that's not really important until I mowed the lawn today. And got all tangled up in trees and branches, and yeah, that's gotta go. It's gotta go. Right now we have an electric lawnmower that we plug in. I think it would be better if you could just charge it, but the plug, yeah, it's just gotta go. I can't do it anymore. I can't. And the last $10, I'm just gonna put that towards another savings. It's not much money. This is probably one of the lower paychecks that I've had in a while, but that's okay. So $10 for the sinking fund can only go to one thing, really. I mean, it could go to two, but I'm just going to decide to put that in family fun. We have a trip that we're going to, a road trip this, the end of the month. So about the last weekend of the month. So I want to put as much money into that family fund envelope as possible in case we need to use it. That's where the Discover came from. How did I forget? I don't know. So the Discover, the 500 some dollars came from booking our road trip that we're going to be doing later this month. Just the hotel period. So yeah, that's where that amount came from. But you know what? Like I explained, when I made the charge, only comes around once. You only live once, and my daughter's getting older, and I want her to have as many fun experiences and memories as she can. So if I got to be a little bit more tight with money than I already am, like I always say, it is what it is. It's okay with me. All right. I mean, that's pretty much it. This was a really simple budget. I mean, right now for me, the most complicated thing is moving the money from the different bank accounts, and it has become, I'll be honest, it has become a little bit of a headache. I got a charge, and I spoke life into this, and it's completely my fault. I was explaining why I have all these bank accounts, and it was mostly because out of fear of, you know, someone getting a hold of your information, and then your bank closes it, and you don't have access to money until you get a new card. So that was a fear of mine, and then boom, all of a sudden, somebody got my car information for a bank account that I don't even really use. It's for my car note. The only thing that goes in there is my YouTube paychecks. So somebody charged something oddly on Etsy. So I have to dispute that. So I'm working on it. For some reason, my bank can't see it. I don't know how I can see it and they can't see it. But she said to wait until Monday to try to check it out so they can dispute it. But they did already go ahead and cancel the card. So I was gonna close that bank account totally anyway, but I don't want to close it in case there are things that are going to go in there or come out between now and when my employer HR has finished, you know, moving my automatic savings. So it's a little bit of a headache to do during the transition, but once it's done, I'll feel better because I will have, you know, more succinct bank accounts. You know, I'll know exactly where everything is. I have one place for all of my savings, so that is going to be great. I cannot wait until the Sofi is completely set up. I did get my debit card in the mail today, so I'm very happy about that. Yeah, everything else with Sofi is going good. There's nothing else really that I need to update you guys on, but let me know how your budget is going. How did you do in the month of April? For me, I tracked really good, so I mean, I'm happy about that. April wasn't a bad month for me. I am afraid that May might be, especially because of this paycheck being a little bit lower than ones that I've seen in the last few weeks. So, but you know, it is what it is. And I said that a million times already. But that's it for paycheck A. Like I said, the day before payday, I will come in and do my closeout, which is when I show you guys how much I've spent in the pay period that I'm in now, whether I've stayed in line with my cash envelopes, you know, whether I've stuck to my dining out categories, all of that good stuff. And then we'll know how much is left in the bank account that I can use as savings, or that I can use for mainly just for savings. Yeah, that's it. So I am going to go ahead and take the money out of my sinking fund for the water so that I can, for the water bill. Here it is. So right now in the water bill envelope, I have $150, $70, $80, $180, which is perfect. There's 3 more quarters in the month, so $60 every quarter. Perfect. Actually, I don't know exactly how much the water bill is, but it's usually $60. So we're going to take out $60 for that. So we're going to just document that we're taking $60 out for the June water bill. What is today? It's not April. I know that. Today is the 4th of May. So June... let's put WB for water bill, $60, and that's going to bring us down to $120. So enough to pay the next 2 water bills that are going to come out. We'll see in September and December. Very happy that I decided to do that, to just fill that with my income tax, because where would I have found that $60 at right now? So sinking funds is, I say it all the time, I'm gonna say it again, a lifesaver. It's kind of sucks to, you know, put a little bit of money every time in these envelopes, but when it comes down to it, when it's time to use them, be happy you did. So if you've never done sinking funds or savings challenges, I implore you to try it for sure. I am, like I said, I'm deciding whether I'm going to be going digital with some of the sinking funds, meaning that I'm going to put some of these in the bank account. So since I have a high yield savings bank account now, it's probably more beneficial for me to not use as much cash as I am. There will still be some things that I keep in cash, of course, because I know that there are some instances where I will need cash. Like if I have, you know, a home repairman come by or a handyman come by and do some repair work on the house, or somebody mow my lawn or whatever. So I will keep some cash for sure. I'm supposed to be active for my direct deposit on May 22nd. So after that, probably June is when we'll be able to see, you know, where everything is, how much interest I'm earning. So far, Sofi is doing well for me. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. But that's it for me today. I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Please, again, let me know how April went for you. Did you stay within budget? Did you have any surprise expenses? Because that is always the thing that gets us, is these pop-up surprise expenses. All right, that's it for me today. I want you guys to always remember it is about progression and not about perfection. Thanks for watching and happy saving. Bye.